Yes, family, give thanks. Salam to blessed love to each and every one. Definitely give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie first. Of course, you are in the tiger's nest. Honorable Priest Isaac here with you. And you already see what we will be going into this evening as far as a discussion, as a reasoning. Yes, we'll be talking about the 7 women to 1 man, and we will be taking it exactly from its source. We're talking about the book of Isaiah, chapter 4 in your Bible, so you can get that together and start to search it out as we go, and we will evolve in a few moments. But trust me, it's going to be a very upful reasoning. I know many ones from the time we did that interview with the good brother and the good sister, General Tao Tao, about polygamy, and some say polygyny. Ones have been asking me about that the scripture that I quoted, the 7 women to 1 man, because I'm sure you all know many ones use that scripture to promote, or if you want to say, to validate a man having several wives. It will tell you that the Bible says that 7 women shall take hold of 1 man, and the Bible does say that in all clarity. So we're going to go into that in a few moments and see exactly what that is all about. Of course, we did a 2-part video on that subject already. 2 parts. That's about 3 years ago. We have been referring people to that. Some people say they can't find it. I can understand that. There are several of my own videos on this platform that I've been trying to locate, and somehow they're not there. I'm telling you, interesting stuff, So I said, all right, we're going to do it again. But that was a 2-part. This is not going to be a 2-part. In fact, I don't even intend this to be too lengthy. Let me say, it is not officially a chalice the talk. We're in the tiger's nest for this one, but that doesn't mean that you should not get your chalice. Even for this little session that we're having here, you should have your chalwa at hand. I'm talking about your bubbler, your chalice, specifically your kochi and your shank, and even your bubbler, as I said. For sure, all you have to do to get your chalwa is to contact me, priestisaac27@gmail.com. That's priestisaac27@gmail.com, and definitely get your chalwa shipped to you. Get more information exactly what we have available as it relates to the chalice. And my brothers and sisters, it's just about 3 or 4 more days, from the summer solstice virtual experience, as at least the summer solstice, of course, the 20th and the 21st day of June. But the summer solstice experience, I'm talking about the double hike, and of course the cannabis tour and lecture. We're at the doors. It's Thursday. So if you have not received your ticket as yet for this wonderful event, keep in mind, I hear a few people saying that, wow, one of the days I got to be at work. Listen, family, this is something that you will be able to watch after. Now, of course, the real experience is being there live. But even if you miss half, or you missed it, you could just come home and open the website, the web page. Of course, you're going to receive the key. Remember, once you buy your ticket, you'll eventually get your key very close to the event, so you would know how to come in for the Thursday experience, for the Friday morning hike. That's going to be wonderful. And the Sunday afternoon hike, we are going to have Paddy the Griot Simon with us. Now, some of you may be saying, so who is that? You will see. I'll be doing a wonderful interview with Brother Paddy the Griot Simon tomorrow. He is Antiguan's historian, the Antiguan historian. He knows almost everything about our recent past, going as far as 200 years in the past. So when we do that hike, man, this is going to be marvelous. If you think the previous one was good, when we do this hike the Sunday, Brother Paddy Simon will be giving us a good understanding of exactly what is taking place, not just with the megaliths. That's our job, but he's going to give you the history of the area. And again, listen to this. This is very important. I will be doing an interview with him on Monday, and I will be putting up that interview Monday evening. So this is why now, even to the subscribers, I mean, if you're not a subscriber, obviously you should, but subscribers, you got to make sure you put on the notification button, you know, because you don't want to miss that. I mean, that brother is going to carry you to a depths Monday night, and I'm sure on Sunday it's going to be megalithic. All right, so let's move on here. So for sure, remember the full package is only $100. Only $100. Remember, it's 3 days. You know, 3 exciting days. It's not a lecture. It's not a one-time thing. You're with us Thursday, going through the marijuana fields, having the live chalice talk, the reasonment, and the whole thing. You see the Rastafari industry as it relates to the cannabis, how it is growing, and that's another level. But for me to go into that right now is going to take away from the time. Plus, as I said, the morning hike amongst the megaliths, you know what's going on there in Greencastle Hill, and the evening hike, that whole session, the Nyabinghi drummings, other lecturers will be there, you know, and other speaker. It's a grand time. So definitely, for sure, all you have to do is to contact us, Rastafari Experience Antigua, for sure. That is the company, the organization that is bringing this forth. Make sure you check us on Facebook, Rastafari Experience Antigua. You can email me personally, priestisaac27@gmail.com, or specifically information you could WhatsApp 268-714-1227 as it relates to Rastafari Experience Antigua, and to get your ticket. And let me be clear here, family, I repeat this all the time, you must understand, you know I love you all, and it's a family structure, whether I know you or I know you not. And I always tell the loved ones, because this is a serious things we're doing here. If you want to speak to your brother personally, email me at priestisaac27@gmail.com. Personally, you definitely want to make sure it's me you're talking to. All of this other information is business, you understand. We have receptionists, we have secretaries, we have PRO, you understand. So if you're about the hike, if you're seriously about the hike, you definitely can WhatsApp us, and definitely you could email me. If you want to talk to me personally, please email me. Very good. Give thanks to the life giver and keep up life. All right, what else we have? We're going to go straight into the subject area. Just giving you a quick outlook, of course, on Greencastle Hill, you know, the megaliths that align. Listen, if you did not listen to the lecture we did, Heliopolis, the ancient, and Admiral, the modern, definitely you should take a look at that right there on the YouTube channel. That is why I'm telling you, you should make sure you are a subscriber to this YouTube channel here, and make sure that you put on the notification bell, you know, so it can go to another level. All right, good. Now, what we're going to touch upon here. Now, the book of Isaiah, yes, Isaiah chapter 3. In fact, no, let's go straight for the juggler, as they say. Let me make sure this is sharing. Okay, bam, perfect. Now this is a very serious topic here. And as I said, this is something that is used a lot to validate the concept of a man having several wives or more than one wife. And the term polygamy, some would say it doesn't really apply to that as a broader statement. It's more polygamy. All right, but anyway, you know exactly what we're talking about. So Isaiah chapter 4 verse 1 says, "And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, say, we will eat our own bread, we will wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach." And that's basically it as it relates to the statement. So again, that's from Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. All right, very plain, very clear. if we are supposed to evaluate this and we're supposed to say, okay, so exactly what does that mean? Well, it has highlighted that in that day, so there's a specific day, you know, it may not be today, may not be tomorrow, it could be yesterday, but there's a specific day. And in this day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. An individual will say, well, no, it doesn't mean all of that, brother. It doesn't mean what you're saying. It means, well, what am I saying? Well, you don't know what I'm saying. What am I saying? But, well, it means that 7 women shall hold on, like literally hold on, because people come with all sorts of different, you know, vibes, you know what I mean, to fit their own thing. All right. So they clearly said that they shall eat their own bread. You know what I mean? They will wear their own apparel. All they want is to be called by the name of this man that they're holding on to take away their reproach. Okay. Now, interesting, eh? Isaiah itself is one of those books that stand out in the sense that, you know, before chapter and verses were added, Isaiah was just a script going through. So in other words, in many cases, the story continues. You know, just like when you write, you have a new sentence and you have a new paragraph. And yes, you have a new chapter, but the chapters are not here. It's just like a continuation of one subject area. So this is why it's very important to begin this subject area in Isaiah chapter 3. Isaiah chapter 3 obviously precedes Isaiah chapter 4. In fact, Isaiah chapter 3 works right into Isaiah chapter 4. You cannot speak about Isaiah chapter 4 unless you have a good understanding or comprehension of Isaiah chapter 3. And Isaiah chapter 4 begins with the statement that is on under the spotlight here about 7 women and 1 man. But have we gone through Isaiah chapter 3 properly to understand what is being spoken of before we get there? All right. So it says here, for behold, the Lord of hosts, do it take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water, the mighty man and the man of war, the judge and the prophet and the prudent and the ancient, the captain of 50 and the honorable man, and the counselor and the cunning artificer and the eloquent orator. I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them. And the people shall be oppressed, everyone by another, and everyone by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable. And when a man shall take hold of his brother, of the house of his father, saying, thou hast clothing, repeat, thou hast clothing, be thou our ruler, and let this ruin be under thy hand. In that day he shall swear, saying, I will not be an healer, for in my house is neither bread nor clothing. Make me not a ruler of the people, for Jerusalem is ruined, and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against the Lord, to provoke the eyes or the eyes of his glory. The show of their countenance doeth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not, woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. Say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hand is given unto him. And it goes on and goes on. I'm not done, eh? We're gonna go into this, but you get the idea so far, thus far, what is happening here, you know. And let us just be clear. I know it sounds like a lot of doom and gloom, because it's a lot of doom and gloom. because the key words here we need to look at. The Lord specifically, the state of staff. He doeth take away from Jerusalem and Judah the stay and the staff, the whole state of bread, and the whole state of water. That's industry, that's economics, that's defense, that's food, clothing, and shelter. The point is that the society itself, it's a system that is being crumbled here. The whole society is affected. Listen in, man. The state and the staff, my rod and my staff doeth defend me. So that's your defense. So if your staff is taken away, that means your defense is gone. Your military, you know, your defense, your army, there's no defense. Anybody can ride in on you and there's rush over you, and that's it. The whole stay of bread, even the bread. Now, bread is food. That's, you know, your wealth, your bread. You know, not flour and water and yeast and ovener. Yes, that is what we call bread. But bread, you know, is food, really. That it stands out. You know, we eat so much of that thing there, the flour thing, that it just get the name bread. Because bread is food. Right. And the whole stay of water, I mean, well, that speaks for itself. Water is life. You know, water is water. So these components are used as a key example to show you what has come upon the children of Israel. Now listen to this. The mighty man, the man of war, the judge, the prophet, the prudent, the ancient. You hear all them type of people here. That's the whole parliament. That's all the officials. That's the high-standing dignitaries. The king and all his merry men, and whatever the case is, everybody down. The ancient in a man, the mighty man, the man of war, the judge, the prophet, the prudent, the captain of 50. Now listen, if you know your scriptures, you know, you had captains of 5, captains of 10, captains of 50, captains of 100, 500, 1,000, but this just mentioned captains of 50, so you can use the rest. Read between the lines, because is everybody gone, you know, but there's not enough space on the paper to explain it in full detail. But the captains of 50, that's what they put. But I'm sure the captain of 100, 500, and 1,000, and the honorable man, the counselor, and the cunning artificer, and the eloquent orator. I will give children to be their princes. Imagine that. Babes shall rule over them. Remember, it's Israel. Well, it don't tell you. Judah and Jerusalem. Judah and Jerusalem. And you see, because of so much lack of understanding, imagine so much lack of understanding. The True Biblical Land of Israel is the book we have put together, produced, and published. The True Biblical Land of Israel. When it gives you a clear understanding of the geographical boundaries of the biblical Israel, and we also connected to the genealogy of the true Israelites, 144 minutes of arc per second. Obviously, this is somewhere else. So the point is, we are the true Israelites. Yeah. The point is, this is, you know, to us. This is, and historically, it's us here again. What are you talking about? This is historically us. This is historically, you're talking about 400, 500, 600, 700 years of history, and even more than that. But just within that last time space, we have seen Judah and Jerusalem, not Palestine. We have seen Ethiopia and Africa and Kemet, and we've seen the plunder. We have seen it. It's historically there. And the black nation, we have seen it. It's obvious, you know. Princes and babes and little ones have come and ruled over the ancient. So all the great ones of renown, we have to wait until Black History Month to remember their names. Let's remember our ancestors, because all the mighty ones are gone, but they're not coming back. All the ancient ones are gone. They're not going to come again as babe and sucklings. all the prudent and the orator and the good speaker and the artificial, all of them has gone. But remember, we're also talking about the transatlantic slave trade. We're also talking about the invasion of the motherland. We're also talking about colonialization, which brought upon it not just the savagery that it came with, but came with also a culture that was totally foreign to those who were being invaded. I want you, I want you to follow me very good here. So this is what all of this is saying here. This has come upon Judah and Jerusalem, the children of Israel. Are ye not unto me as the children of the Ethiopians, O ye children of Israel? Thus say the Lord. So we continue from that sense here. So the reality is now, even when you read the scripture that said they shall be sent into captivity for 400 years by ships. By ships I shall send them back into captivity by ships. That's a very clear and precise. I hear people try to go around that scripture kind of how I say, well, I'm telling you, but that's a very on point, scripture as such. So utilizing that even with this shows you it's the very same circumstance. All the great ones have been demolished. The culture has been ravaged. The culture has been ravaged. That's why he began by saying the staff, your defense, because the culture has been ravaged. The bread, your wealth, your land, the minerals, someone has come and robbed you of them, not of them, and still robbing you of them because you have so much and now you can't even access what you have. Some of us are still there but can't access what belongs to us. This is very, very, very serious. You hear us talk about the glory of Kemet. A lot of the glory of Kemet is in the Louvre Museum in France, or in the British Museum in London, or somewhere else. So even all of your great works has gone away. All of your wealth has gone to somebody else. Someone else is benefiting from what you have. And then when you stack up the set of poorest countries in the world, you have a heap of African countries there within it. And these same poorest countries, like a Congo is the richest country on the planet. I mean, what can go so? You have hundreds of countries, 100+ countries on the planet. You understand? And the Congo would rank amongst the richest of these countries as far as minerals and wealth. But it would rank amongst maybe not the poorest in their stats, I'm just calling talk down, but it's definitely amongst the set of, deprived nations. So what can go so? Because babes, the just comers, as Khalid Muhammad would say, the Johnny come lately, real thing, they're the ones that white supremacy rule the planet. And that's just what it is. That's the reality of what you're reading here in Isaiah. Also, what I have to do with 7 women and 1 man, you are straight from the topic. Thus said the simple-minded. So now, so check this now. So you understand here that a whole culture is not only being destroyed, but a different culture is being placed upon our people. Now, I'm not going to even go through so much of what we went through here. Let's just continue from about verse 60. All right. Moreover, the Lord saith, but I'm sure you comprehend the state. So that's the state of Israel in general. I know we went through that quickly, but that's a whole story by itself. And we should, all of us here should have an idea of the state of Israel. The Israelites, those that are the real lights. Moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanting eyes, walking and mincing as they go. making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their cauls, and their round tires like moon. The chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and nose jewels, the changeable suits and apparels, and the mantles and the wimples and the crispin pins, the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of a set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a grinding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and the mighty in the war, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she, being desolate, shall sit upon the ground. So what you're gathering here now, well, you've gathered several things. And of course, it is showing you here now, the daughter of Zion. She's haughty, walks stretched forth necks and wanting eyes, and walking and mincing as she goes, and making a tinkling with her feet. And, you know, with no disrespect, the simple mind would say, oh, what does this have to do with our redemption? And it's time this Bible thing, Bible, when are you rats going to come out of the Bible? I mean, no disrespect, but it is simple-minded, and that is why education is so important. So important. Because what you're reading here is live and direct in front of your eyes. Hear what it's saying. Now, of course, the stretch forth neck, because there's a certain level of bravery in this. When your neck stretch forth, them animals, you see them move with their neck stretch forth. It's a symbol of bravery, like, yeah. You can't tell me nothing. Yeah. Listen to me. And wanting eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. You know, you could specifically imagine and understand the atmosphere. So mincing is like, you know, when you mince meat, you know, you call mince meat. Well, there's a process when you mince the meat. It's like a circular process, and the mince meat come out. So the mincing is almost like a whining sort of effect when the woman is moving. Look it right here. Look it right here. Walking and mincing as they go, making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and he will discover their secret parts. In that day, the Lord will take away their bravery, the tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their claws and their round tire like moon, the chains and the bracelet and the mufflers, the bonnets, mufflers and bonnets, the ornaments of the leg, and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings and the rings, and the nose jewels, and the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crispin pins, things that I never even hear about. But at the same time, I'm saying even down to the description of the daughter of Zion at this time, even if this scripture was set some thousands of years historically, this is definitely in tune with this hour, this moment, and this time. Now, according to this expression here, it goes on to say, remember, this is like a judgment coming down. According to this, the Lord will take away their bravery. So that stretched forth neck, that wanting eyes, he shall take away the bravery. And then he gives you all of the apparels and the earrings and the tablets and the nose jewels and the crispin pins and the hoods and the girdle. And it says here in verse 24, instead of sweet smell, they shall be stink. And instead of a girdle, a rent, instead of well set here, baldness. So what we're gathering here now, listen, follow me good, family. Follow me good. From the beginning of this chapter, it is showing you that the nation, not the woman now, the nation of the Israelites, Judah and Jerusalem, the melanated ones, them is the real lights, the melanated nation is the real lights, and the connection is a scientific thing. That's why we talk about the minutes of arc per second. It has to do with the woolly hair. It's a deep thing. So is the real lights. It's science then. So the Israelite or Israelites, from the inception of this chapter, everything is going wrong. They have been invaded. An enemy has come to rule over them. The Hyksos have arrived, the shepherd people, and they have ravaged us so much that they have taken away our defense. We've been ravaged to the point that our industries, our ministries, our government, our system, it is broken down. I don't have to go through that in detail again. And what happens now because of that? Keep in mind all the great men. They highlight the great man of orator, the great orator, pardon me, the honorable man, the captain of the 50, all of these great ones, the artificer, all of these great ones, the prophets, the prudent one, all of these great ones have gone down in battle, have gone down in war. Now hold on, before we jump on to the other part, let's look at that today. In reality, even amongst I and I as a people. Again, this is why Black History Month come, whether it's October, February. February, I mean, just you understand. But anyway, we talk about the great Shaka, the king of the Zulu, the great King Lalibela, and somebody great that has gone, But where is Shaka, the king of the Zulu today? Where is Lalibela today? Where is anyone else Akhenaten today? Even down to the regular Rosa Parks, and we're not regular, no disrespect, but bringing it down to a modern day time. Where is the Rosa Parks today? Or the Martin Luther King today? Or who else are in them lines there? Where is anyone of the W boy today? The Nelson Mandela today? The people that we consider, that we revere. Where are they today? These are our heroes. Where are they today? That's yesterday and day before yesterday and last year and 10 decades ago and 2,000 years ago and how much years BC. So what's going on now? Sometimes when I observe the Italian-Ethiopian War, or even the Battle of Adwa, with more the Italian War, you ever see the scene When you see all the Ethiopian soldiers and their horse are coming over the mountains, and some of them on barefoot running, coming to the battle. And when they come and they gather before the emperor with all the weaponry ready for this battle, I say, wow, so where them people now? Where are these reincarnated souls today? I mean, real warriors that stood up for the battle. Right now, everybody bow. That same King Shaka spirit is not there. The same spirit of the great Lalibela, it's not there. The same Akhenaten, it's not there. Again, not even, no disrespect, you know, you hardly find the Rosa Parks spirit there. You see it. And keep in mind, you see a lot of people rise up and we protest and a lot of different things, but we die down fast. A lot of that is systematic too. We're talking about a liberty in a culture, not a spirit to either integrate or to be a part of a system made for us. We're talking about a culture that has been destroyed, beaten down, beaten to a pulp. You know what I mean? But it's still there, because there is Lalibela. Lalibela is around. He's around. Shaka, the king of the Zulu, he is around too. Yeah, he's there. He's there. But in the ancient culture here, I mean, our culture, listen, our culture is that our children, our young princes grow up to be all Lalibelas. All of them is Shaka, the king of the Zulu. All of them is great warriors, artificials. All of them are great in many different ways and forms. Why? Because our system was oriented for that. Our system was made to build warriors. Some of the African cultures, they say you have to go kill a lion before you can come back home. You know, I mean, although I may not be pushing the killing the lion thing, but just giving you an idea that we have a culture. Every boy have to do that thing. So we have a culture, and that's just one African culture as such. But we have a culture that is set, that brings the child through his rites of passage, that brings a child from the stage of birth to manhood. You understand? But in captivity now, the Rockefeller set up an education system. I'm giving you real time. This is stats and facts. In this society, the society that is the offshoot of our colonial past and the transatlantic slave trade, nobody out there can tell me I lied. So this society that exists today, again, which is the child of that terrible history just passed, with an education system that takes up the vast majority of the time of the young minds, our young children mind in this society, in the education system set up by the industrial ones, to train us to be industrial servants, no matter how much money you think you make it. I wonder if you get all of what I'm saying here. The prudent, the captain of 50, not just one person. It's a culture that is being destroyed. That's my point. You're not getting me? The artificial, the prophet, the great ones, the honorable ones, all of them have died in battle. And even when they're born again, there's a system set in place by the babes and the princes that rule over them to beat it out right away. Make sure that baby gets his shot. All the children must get their shots. By the time they're 3 months old, mother must go back to work. More than likely, there's no father in the house. We said it that way. Baby must go to daycare. It's a must, or we lock you up. Make sure it's in school. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. Man, that will beat all the prudent man out of you. That will beat the prophet out of you. Until you come 18 or 19 and you're on your own, and somehow you get a good herb to smoke and it wake you up. You say, wow, something don't look right here. And then to be honest, by the time you get so beat up that even when you come to the truth, you're not even humble. You don't even want to listen. You think you know it all. I know all kind of people like that. You see, this is a terrible thing going on to us. We don't even know how much we have been affected psychologically as a people in general through the transatlantic slave trade and colonialism and neo-colonialism and offshoot of colonialism and all our taking place today. All the great ones of war have fallen. And again, even when they come again, the wicked ready with guns in their face to shoot them. Yeah? Lock you up for having a child at home. Make sure you bring it to the hospital. People dying next door, eh? That's why I can't play with me, you know. Trust me, now. We're not advising, but you know. So where are we? I'm telling you, this is sick. Yeah, I'm looking for a start to take it off here. Yeah, Rastafari. Give thanks, family. Let me just take a draw my channel there. You know, been in radio for a while and you see like you leave a blank space. What it does, you know, you could lose some of your audience that way. So whether you know it or not, I'm trained to keep an audience. Eh? So see, like I do this, there might be ones that like, wow, yes, you know. But at the same time, after what we just said a while ago, the real ones surely ain't going nowhere because they can see this is not a joke show. And obviously we're gonna come after this is serious, but they just got to give the tiger a moment to take a draw. You have your chalice in hand, let me just give you a little bingy for a moment. You have your chalice in hand, take a draw with me, man, just 1 minute. Yeah, Holy Emmanuel eyes, and 7 women, you know, shall take hold of 1 man. We're not talking about that, so you think. That's your way, Prince. Say that's you here. Yeah, it's talking about summer solstice. Make sure you're on board. Why you lock it off? It's not chalice talk, eh? But give thanks, man. Love, man, love. Make sure you get your chalice. So for sure, hey, man, it's Thursday. Make sure you're there with us, man. The summer solstice experience. Let me turn on some of the thing here. I wonder if you can even hear me. Give thanks. I really appreciate love that. I appreciate love your patience. I really do, you know. That's why I know who is a real family man. Blessed man. Give thanks, family. Wonderful. Thanks for the young prince and the young princess in the house. Blessed love, prince and princess. Definitely. So we here. So we have an idea, you know, family, of the states of the people and the nation. And I think that, you know, the Bible itself too has always been labeled as I don't know if it's always been labeled, but it's definitely labeled as a, what was the right word? There's a word there, but it's, you know, it is not too kind to the woman there. Misogynistic book, and there are many aspects within it you can pull out that definitely doesn't sound quite balanced. I'm telling you, whether you, I mean, I mean, I know you might love your Bible and everything, and all of that is good, but that doesn't mean you're gonna act as if you cannot clearly see there's certain points, man. I'm not digging them out now, but there's certain aspects. And this is why sometimes I bring up in conversation the aspect of the balance of the male and female, at least from a biblical perspective. And as far as, you know, just the whole concept then, let me bring it in, pardon me, let me bring it in now. There's the whole concept of, for example, like I asked the general too, of for a man having several wives, and not a woman having several husbands. Um, okay, I mean, not to say pushing that in, for sure, I'm not pushing that at all. But what I'm just saying, it obviously is a clear statement that there's something different. Okay, obviously it's something different. Okay, sure, good. But different to a degree that one could, if you want to say, attain several, but the other cannot do the same, or whether it's in their nature or whatever. But I'm just saying, even if it's in the nature, I'm just highlighting that there's obviously a difference on that level. You know, no one can deny it if that is the case. And the scripture also, I say, the Old Testament, then if you want to say, definitely show you that one man have 1,000 women, eh? That's a serious thing, 1,000 and more. That's a serious thing. All right. So that's a real thing. I said I love you. Wow. Yeah. So the daughters of Zion come into the picture now, family. And chapter verse 16 is just like a statement. Moreover, the Lord said, because the daughter of Zion are haughty, and they walk with stretched out, stretched forth necks, wanting eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tingling with their feet. Bam. That's like the statement there. Bam. That's the statement. You know. Then he gonna show, therefore, because of this, you know, just because of this, therefore, I will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughter of Zion, and the Lord will discover her secret parts, or their secret parts. And in that day, and he says, he shall take away the bravery of the tinkling ornaments of their feet. And it goes down to the garments of the woman, the way the woman dress. You know, I always show my young ones, both my prince and princess, you know, how even a lot of the old ones that you see today, like if you see a lady, you know, in her, you know, 70s, and you might see her with a jeans pants and a shirt, and I mean, looking casual, what we call casual today. No disrespect to the lady at all. Eh? I'm just showing you, not necessarily tight jeans. Some of them put on the tight jeans too, but you know. Well, the point is, at least in my culture, most old ladies today, what you call old ladies, 75, 80 or so, or 60 going up, I don't know, elderly then. they don't necessarily wear skirts or dresses. They wear pants. All right. So I would show my young children now. These same ladies, these are like the age of my mother. These ladies, when they were young, that is not how their mothers dressed, or their mothers didn't dress them. In fact, when me now, was their age, my children age, I mean 9 and even younger than that, I can clearly tell anyone here that no woman wore pants. Nowhere. Nowhere. At least not in this society here. When I was 6, 7, 8, 9. Nowhere. So, and that is just an example I'm bringing. You know, no, for sure, as well, I wouldn't say as Rastafari, but as Bobo Shanti, you know, the woman don't wear pants. I'm not here to condemn nobody and how they're dressing. I'm teaching something here, and people very much in their feelings. I'm teaching something here, and I'm using this as an example to show the expression here. Now, so we've gone to the garments. I'm showing the young ones that the garments has changed a lot. I mean, listen, you have to show your children these things, you know, because ones may think that what they come and meet is what it always was, or this is how the flow goes. And sometimes it takes maturity for you to understand, okay, this is what was going on. So since we have been there, we can always advise our children, like, hey, listen, you know, see how you're looking and observing today. It ain't going to be like this tomorrow. Eh? In the next 10 years, it will change. Things will change. So many things will change. This is going to look old fashioned because you have already gone through that. So you expect that. You can put it, maybe no one showed you that. All of this is important, you know, speaking to the young ones, you know. So I would show them these things. I would show them every old lady had their head wrapped. All of them. All of them. The most you will see is a little hair sticking out from the side because they just plait their hair. You know, it is when I got maybe into my teens, I would see the old lady then put on a wig and go to church on Sunday. But they wear no pants. And I'm just showing you how that, now that's just simple. If you notice, I even put the old lady today in a modest, you know, let's say loose jeans pants, but it hotter than that. I just talking modest. If I don't get on the level of what this saying here, ornaments of the leg, the headbands and the tablets. Now this may sound dread to some of the ornaments that women wear. See, like even the leg, they call it here, the leg brace, the leg chain for the leg, the anklet or ankleless or what it is, you know. Like you have the wristband, you have the gold ankle. What's the right term there, man? Ankle band, anklet, whatever it is, around the ankle, the chain for the ankle. Yes, you know, that's the sign of a prostitute, you know. You know, and that's no disrespect. I ain't saying if you wear that, believe me, I would never say that to you. I'm just showing you. And this is not me. I'm not burning fire on it to say, boy, you put on. That's not what I'm saying. I'm telling you, in the contemporary world, it was understood. I think this coming out from Europe, you know, in the contemporary world, it's understood. If you're looking for a prostitute, one of the signs is that she will have on a gold or silver ankle chain. You know, me make that up. You know, people vex just for them things. But now it has crept into a culture and we just take up everything. So we put it on. Yeah, it may look nice, but what does it mean? You check it. In the same way, there's a lot of things that is definitely you see today, the way that it has been established. So even the anklet, the nose ring and certain things, and you know, there's a scripture there with Judah in the Bible. I think Judah and he slept with a prostitute or something. And I think Bracelet was also involved in that transition there. She had to hold them for him. I can't remember how the scripture goes, but you would know of it. Now, I'm saying, follow me good. Eh? This is an example being given. We don't have to go too far. I think anyone of any decency can clearly see that the vast majority of the women today do not carry themselves even nearly in a modest way. Even in a modest, if you want to say, systematical way of dressing. The system have a way of dressing that even that has a modest side there. Not even that, the vast majority of ones, down to the school uniform, much less the disco uniform, the street clothes, whatever it is, the office clothes, whatever it is, they make sure all the parts are seen. Even if it's a long skirt they have on, it is designed that every curve, every crevice, every corner, every slit, all of these things, the designer of these clothes know exactly what they're making to put on your 3-year-old and your 4-year-old. Because we make sure we dress them like that from early, with the little, ballerina skirt, like, oh, she's cute, and all of that. Hey, look, a little panty showing in it. Yeah, we laugh and giggle. You understand? And all we call it the pussycat tattoo claws and all the breasts jumping up and down and everything. Yeah, real thing. That's why in front of your face. Remember, this is the real radio here. This ain't no, what I mean? Yeah, we talk it real. I hope nobody feel that way. Okay, but that's what it is. That's what it is. So we just gravitate to a system, mark up ourselves differently than the ink that go in between the layers of the skin. That's one level. No matter what you put on yourself, no matter how pretty it look, just the whole meditation of the ink going between the layers of the skin, whether the needle was clean or not, just the understanding of the ink going between the layers of the skin. That's what I'm talking about, if you lose me. What I mean? That alone is detrimental. Another subject for another time. But then outside of that, all them certain images and these different things we put in on us, some of us not even aware of the origin of these images. Is coming from another culture somewhere else. It means so much. It has a different meaning. So all of these things have their meaning. Yes, I know. In ancient Africa, we arrayed ourselves with gold necklaces and all of these things too. I understand that that's different. That's different. Listen to me again, because some of us, we are talking about culture. The woman is not covered with gold and bangles like the Ghanaian woman or the colorful beads. I'm talking about a culture where the woman put on her high heel, and it is her left leg or her right leg. There's a chain that goes around that. That is a sign that you could go to her and pay her and have your pleasure with her. So I'm saying, I remember as a youth, that was a big thing. That is may not be as big today. That was a big thing when the sisters would have that one chain around the leg. But you see, this is what I'm saying. It creeps in. It comes from that culture, that old time religion as such. So the point is here that the daughter of Zion, if you notice, I showed you the transition that I have seen with my eyes of the old people from when I was young to what I see today. It's a vast change. If it changed so fast, imagine the next 40 years, how it's going to look. That's a very, very serious thing. Eh? Wow. So from purple here to yellow here, yesterday we saw a sister there with some yellow hair, long yellow hair, black woman, like yellow hair, not blonde hair, yellow hair. Now listen to me, man. This is serious, eh? I think we were going through some information that we're talking about. There's a specific person. Listen to me, family. There's a specific type of people that have a specific type of hair that they're more susceptible to. I think it's heart attacks or stroke. But it was redhead people with red hair. You know what I mean? Natural red hair people. When your hair growing out your head in yellow, right? It's some sort of sick mucus you have in your head. but we have turned it into a fashion. I'm not disrespecting nobody color they here, real color, you know, whether it's blonde or black or whatever. But all of them different colors and all the eye colors and so is deficiency. Just take it as it is. It's deficiency in something, in some form, some aspect of the mutation is off, real off. So for us now, as a pretty beautiful melanated woman, man, the sister have some long yellow hair, even between the part here. You can see the yellow dust or whatever. I don't even know what it is. Wow, yellow. Man, because what I see there, you know, you see, is your mind. Your mind, I'm telling you, take it from me, family. Take it from me, family. Once you set your mind, believe me, the body really would follow. Because in reality, you know, the way that the system is set, even though you see man burning fire, enough man be burning fire and them things, fire, fire. But within their mind, they still watch and lust. Real thing, that's natural. You take it, it's reality. But now when you go into yourself of self and say, okay, the sister really look good now. I don't know, like she look good. She's a pretty black woman. But when somebody have yellow hair, the fact that you know when somebody have yellow hair coming out of their head and red hair coming out their head and green hair coming out of their head, no, it's not her real hair. It's either weave. I don't even know what it is. I don't know. I don't know, but I know it's some kind of cosme. I know it's not her real hair, but I'm making a point. It's a point I'm making. That when you set your mind, knowing within yourself, you have to, that's why you have to get in the self and say, hey, anybody with yellow hair need real help, need to see a physician now. Maybe they need to drain out the mucus out of the cranium or something so the hair can stop growing yellow. Yeah, and that's how you teach your children. So when the children see them thinking, what's wrong? She needs help. The mucus must be backed up in the cranium. Yeah, make them talk so. So well, no, it's all right, Sonny. She went to the saloon and she put on. Yeah, you got to get the mind fixed early. Then you explain it out. So, oh, yeah, it's real. It's real. Man, you have to know how to counter Babylon and all its ways. And before you try to save the world, save your children. Make them understand what's really going on there. Because trust me, nobody can check for them. So I'm just showing you the reality of the state, and we can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. You know, and of course, this is not bashing the woman, as I said. It's even the sister we just mentioned, the princess here. We saw her together. So that's a beautiful black woman, but I mean that's something else. So now, in reality, now, you know, and this is even to the brethren them. I'm not telling you to change your style in the brethren. You just gotta keep your style. You know what I mean? But you gotta be honest, eh? You just gotta be honest, you know, because you just gotta be honest. Being honest. As I said, sister, beautiful sister, but the yellow head thing is a serious sign of colonialism. Very, very serious sign. Now, obviously, she may not have pus on the brain. Oh my, but no disrespect. I mean, I'm not saying you should tell her like this at all. Definitely not. But there's obviously pus on the mind. Yeah, man. That need to drain out. Yeah, man. That's it. As I say, that may be Queen Nzinga there, you know, with the yellow head. Yeah, man. That may be Queen Nzinga there with the yellow head. And sometimes the Queen Nzinga is a King Shaka she need to show that, hey, you have some mucus on your brain there, your mind, you know, I need to drain out. She might pull a spear. What are you talking about? Hold on. I said you have some mucus on your mind that need to drain out. Come, let me show you. I will show you a video. Read this book with me, and whatever the case is. Which brings us to the next point. So we don't have to go through all of what it's said here, but I think the audience understands where we are. So it says in verse 24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle a rent, and instead of well set hair baldness, and instead of a stomacher a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. And you know, here you come again, because you know what they call perfumes is really fumes, you know, perfumes. And when you grow again, my family, to show you the mind, when you grow out of a certain mindset, it actually affects your senses. So in other words, the chicken that would fry in the kitchen that may used to smell good to you before, not you for sure, but after you change your diet to a levity and you put it away, especially after a long period of time, and you buck up upon that chicken smelling frying thing again, oh, because it smells like the dead is being roasted. It's the same thing with a lot of the cologne and, you know, stuff that, you know, yeah, I'm not gonna call no name of no brand, but some of them actually stink, really, like disinfectant or something. Well, and what I'm saying is that nature has a natural smell, you know, in a sense. Even we have our natural smell too, but it's a different vibes. But I'm saying, in this case here, instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. Instead of well set here, there shall be baldness. Same point again, that there are many cases, because we did a whole documentary on, you know, the hair, the chemical that they put in the hair and how it damages the scalp of the hair, as it speaks about the scalp at the beginning, about the Lord shall damage the scalp. And now he's showing you that instead of a well set hair, there shall be baldness. And I know of several cases, you know, I mean, of because of the harshness of the chemicals. That's why a lot of sisters have gone natural too, just because of that reason, for sure. The harshness of the chemical. Brother Chris Rock, Chris Rock it was, that did that movie there. Chris Rock. Yeah. The donkey in Madagascar, yeah, right? Yeah. They are not the donkey, we call it, I think, the zebra. Yeah. So yeah, instead of, well said here, this baldness and many different things, you know. Listen, just check what's going on today. Look at the whole vaccine vibration around here, man. They're giving away land, you know, man. You want the land, they can get land. They're giving away $1,000 every week. How much bucket of chicken, anything, just to come and get the vaccine. And if you get the first shot, you get a chance. If you get the second shot, you get the next chance. Wow, this is like a raffle society now, just to come and get a shot. Just listen to me, good, eh? That's what's going on. So you could see the state of the world today. This chapter in Isaiah is about today. No, that's why it's in that day, you know. This ain't Moses' day, you know. This is not even Elijah. What this fella? This is not even Isaiah's day. No disrespect to Isaiah. This is not even Isaiah's day. This is today. Now. Most people that you see are taking up the vegan lifestyle. Look how vegan and vegetarian gone universally. These people are people, well, most of them, I'm telling you, are people that, because of some ailment, some sickness, or at least because, you know, for their health, they are seeking the vegan way. You know, as I said, many ones that have gone natural, both male and female, is because they don't want to put too much of the chemicals in their hair. Some of them will say, oh, I just wake up and go. I don't have to do anything with it. Yeah, right. They don't have to put no chemicals in their head. There no chemicals, it's chemical. You understand? Look how medical marijuana now has gone to another level. All of these things are Rastafari. You know, I want to show you this. Even down to the culture. People talking about African Liberation Day. But when it comes to the situation now, even right here in Antigua, even the Prime Minister, when it was jokingly or whatever, he said, well, the only people exempt from the vaccine is Rastafari. You know, and although I would say he kind of backstep on that. I mean, everybody know Rastafari not taking no vaccine. People go as far, listen, people. People go as far as to say, hey, I want to join Rastafari. Why? Someone have to take no vaccine. You hear what people say? Even though they may be saying it jokingly, this is the time, and this ain't no joke. I want to join Rastafari. Why? So I don't have to take the vaccine. And instead of a stomacher of girding of sackcloth and burning of beauty, it's burning instead of beauty, pardon me. Thy men shall fall by the sword and thy mighty men in war. We covered that up there. We covered that up there. Fallen by the sword. Mighty men in war. Queen Nzinga with the yellow hair. Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu. Where's Shaka Zulu? Thy men have fallen by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. You know? Because when I said that, I picture in the same yellow hair sister, right where she was. I think she had on a white shirt and a jeans pants. So now she waiting for Shaka right there. Where's Shaka? Men have fallen by the sword. What I'm saying in general now, we did a program a few nights ago on the Shock of the Hour radio program. And if you're not a subscriber to the Shock of the Hour radio program, you know what I'm going to tell you. Subscribe to the Shock of the Hour radio program, definitely. And to do that, you just email us, precise27@gmail.com, get more information specifically. Remember, you could get the whole week free, you know, a strong free trial of the Shock of the Hour. Just say I would like a free trial of the Shock of the Hour. You get the whole strong free, no strings attached. This ain't Pinocchio. So anyway, we did a program and we were talking about the plot against the destruction of the Black child. In fact, we did a video on the YouTube channel. Just a short video as it relates to if there are really more girls than boys upon the earth. And the short video, it was a clip that we took there from a specific speaker that was speaking about the destruction and the war, the conspiracy, I should say, to destroy young Black boys. Right, get it straight. So, and that's just the reality thereof. Children in general, young Black children, but the young Black boy, he was highlighting this, and it is seen here. That is why the men is fallen by sword, and the mighty in war is not necessarily warrior. Is not necessarily in Afghanistan or Iraq or some kind of Vietnam. They died there too. But this is a bigger battlefield. When you have a state wherein half of the population is Black people, and Black people make up about 13% of the nation, something wrong. Half of the population inside of prison is Black people. It may be a little high. I'm not giving you the exact statistic at the moment, but we know it's somewhere there. Half of the people in the United States prison is Black people. 90% of that is men. Just do the maths. Let me say it one more time. Half of the people in prison in the United States we're talking about is Black people, and you know that prison industry, big time. Half. How many of them is male? 90, very high. I think it's 93%, something like that, 93 or so. So the rest is female, Black people, of the Blacks. And Black people in general make up about 13 or so, 14%, give or take a percent or two, but it's around there. It ain't 50% for sure. It ain't 40, it ain't 30, and it's not 20. But half of the prison is there. And 90+% is male. So what does that tell you? That tells you that a big chunk of the male population has been taken out of the system, or not out of the system, they're in the system, but taken from amongst the population in the United States. And not just taken, it's a recurring thing. They come in and go out and come in and go out and come in and go out. So it's like a thing. They come in and go out, and a real mad thing. So that alone shows you where you can clearly see, as it is spoken right here, that your men are fallen by the sword. Because this is war, you know. These are definitely prisoners of war. I mean, just being in this captivity itself and the system itself is being a prisoner of war too. Because look, we're crying for reparation, repatriation. We're prisoners of war. Them is just prisoners in a next level of this prison system. That's all it is. You know, just like even in the big house, you still have a maximum security. Even in there, man say, I don't want to go in maximum, because maximum is somewhere else. In there. You're done in there. But they have a next place in there. That, no, man, they lock you down. Yeah, whatever the case is, you know. So in there is just a deeper sense of out here. Because even out here, it's not just them in there, you know. Out here, they're falling by the sword too. Everybody gone, you know, man. Everybody gone. Humpty Dumpty is in everybody's mind. Everybody, yeah, man. Who you voting for? Everybody gone. Even those of us who Gele up and African up and Kwanzaa up and Ashe up and Rastafari up, even we gone too. Somehow we sleeping. We not really ready for this. You know what I mean? We just happy, you know what I mean? The Knicks playing tonight. Yeah, man, we wasting time. We've fallen by the sword. Yeah, you can say what you want, brother. We not ready for no Knicks playing tonight. Trust me. We don't understand. You listen, you can like what you like. If that's, I'm telling you, we are in a state of emergency. That's our problem. We can't figure that out. That's why everything is joke and ha 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 and laugh, 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 giggle, giggle. Sick. Pardon me. You're really sick. This is real. This is a very serious issue I'm talking about here. This is a very serious issue. The men have fallen by the sword and died in war. That's what's going on here. We lost. It is religion, politics, or something else. Just lost, just out of it totally. Now listen to me. And her gates shall lament and mourn. And she, being desolate, shall sit upon the ground. So have you followed the story here? So her gates shall lament and mourn. Her, the same daughter, the daughter of Zion, this same person here, we were talking with people. This same one that was walking, what do you call it? Haughty and stretched forth neck, and the same one that was, you know, where the Lord said that he shall smite the scab of the crown of the head. That's her there, with the tinkling of the ornaments on her feet and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the leg. Is that who you're speaking of? And the rings and the nose rings and the mantle. That's her. What you said happened to her? Her gates shall lament and mourn and cry, desolate. What's going on there? What happened to her gates? You know, when you say her gates, what do you mean? Her front gate, her back gate? Gates really means, you know, her dwelling place, her house. But it's not necessarily just a house with a fence and a yard. Her possessions, her belongings, her estate. Her estate is a good term. Her gates shall lament and mourn. And she being desolate, let's get this good, shall sit upon the ground. Let's not miss this. She shall sit upon the ground. This woman's state is gone. This is a different level here. Because she now, remember, you know, she was brave before. Yeah, man, she was walking chest out. Call me boss. Yeah. No Negro can tell me what to do. No. Yeah, all the different apparels explain. But you see, it's not her fault. Yeah, it's not her fault, at least from my understanding of this. Remember, Shaka Zulu wasn't there, or Shaka, the king of the Zulu, wasn't there. Because all the great ones, the orator, remember they start from a culture being destroyed, eh? This is not a love story, man. They start from a culture being destroyed. It's still a love story, really. So the history got to be kept in mind. 400 years captivity in ships. That's according to the Bible, Genesis 15. Shall go into captivity. Deuteronomy speaks of it, but via ships. You know? Sometimes you have to stress these things. Sometimes you'll be surprised. There are some people coming into this for the very, very first time. And you on some high level lecture. And skipping over all the simple points, thinking everybody in the room knows it. And they have some real new kindergartners. It's like, wow, this is a new thing. Yeah, so Genesis chapter 15 speaks about that. You could check it anytime. Some of the time we'll spend more time on that, about the children of Israel going into captivity, returning into captivity via ships. Deuteronomy as well. Chapter 68, you know, goes into that in depth. So yes, I'm saying that from even that time, from an empire or empires being destroyed, empires that had their own culture, empires that had their own principles, empires that had, you know, everything in order, the industry, economics. This is what we're talking about, you know, Songhai Empire, Ashanti Empire. Remember, there's a lot of these empires, some of them we don't even know about, that went against the British and the French and Portugal and Italy and all these ones. The British, of course, when they stepped in to Africa during that mass scramble for Africa, as they call it. This is a real thing, with all the high-tech equipment and guns and all of them things, and with their war savage mentality. It's just reality, the transatlantic slave trade. So now I'm saying that all of that is what is being expressed here. I just got to put some color to it so you see how real it is. I'm talking about your staff is gone, your bread is gone, your water is gone, all the great ones are gone. Yeah. And this shows you now that the strength of a man is so necessary as it relates to the strength of a woman. Yeah, you can say all what you want. Oh, well, Beyonce say I'm an independent woman and oh, I can do this and I can do this. That's exactly what was going on here. That is exactly what was happening here. That is why she was walking haughty, wanting eyes and stretched forth necks. If you notice, he says that the Lord shall take away her bravery, expose such nakedness, and then goes down into the garments. But if you notice now, what happens, what is really happening here? When it says it shall make the sweet smell stink, and the well set here, baldness and beauty shall become ugly. What is really saying, honorable family? It's not coming down to no one, It's just naturally that nature is taking its course. For I use the example with the chemicals and the hair, but it's bigger than that. Naturally, I mean, the system that has been set, the system that we get comfortable in, the system that we pretty ourselves up with, because everything about us is the system. That is why I use the example to show that from a younger age to now, a lot has, I don't know if the term is evolved, even when it comes to the woman, which is the subject here, and the way that she would attire herself. And I specifically use the example of old people to show that, because these old people, I mean, when I was that age, so when they were my age, I wasn't born. That's the point. These old people could be my parents, my mother. That's what I'm trying to show you. And when I was young, I didn't see no one in no pants, and that's when I was young. So could you imagine when I wasn't there? So I'm just showing you how things have quickly changed. Nobody wear no skirt around here. If you see a woman in a skirt, it's like something you got to stop. Not mini skirt, and I mean a proper well attired, like how the old people would have attired. That's why I brought that in. I want you to follow me good. So all of what you're seeing here is just something that's going along with a system that is being created, that evolves daily. That's just what it is. The system changed fast from cellular phone that just appeared the other day and everyone have one. That just appeared, and if you don't have 2 and 3, you're out of style right now. So it changes fast. It's like a roller coaster ride. This is a system. This is like a fast moving vehicle. A fast moving vehicle is a missile. This system here is not a system you want to just crash so simply. This is not a system to crash. This system that we live on, this grid that we live on, of electricity, of the internet, of the banking system, of the other things that deal with, especially electronically, and then trading and thrift and all of the things that happen on this planet, underground and above ground. The banking system alone, the insurance system alone, this planet here, the shipping system, and if you cut down the movement of ships on the harbors or to the harbors for 2 weeks, many countries would starve. The way the whole thing is set up, this is a dread system if it crash in a man. This is a dread system, even some that balling for it to crash. If this crash, and it can crash, this system can crash. Man, just let the internet be out for a day. Look, the other day, about 4 days ago, the internet was giving a little shake up. Something new was coming in, but that they didn't tell you that. But anyway, but some of the key websites, I get into the point, man. This is the point. This is the point. We've been missing the point for a long time. This is the point. Yeah, some key websites were out. CNN and BBC and some key websites and Amazon, and so I think Amazon, don't quote me, but I'm sure about CNN and BBC that listen, bam, when these websites out, they're not supposed to be out. That's headline news. That's headline news. And that's because there was a lot of other websites out. Thousands of websites went up, or maybe hundreds of thousands or whatever. But just to show you the magnitude of what happened, that some key websites that are not supposed to disappear, they disappear. And that's headline news. So just imagine now, if this system that we live on get a real crash, and remember, it's some real crazy people that's behind it. It's some mad people that have their hand on the button, the finger on the button. Which button? The button that can do all kind of things. Yeah, that's the world we live in. So you and your mortgage, and yeah, that's the world we live in. So the time is going to come now. Marcus Mosiah Garvey said, only when black people have their back against the wall that they go realize what is happening. And I agree. I really see that for real. Talking to them ain't gonna move them. There's a thing that we run on the shock of the hour with Minister Farrakhan, where he says, see, brothers and sisters, you're not gonna straighten up on any word from me. No, you're not gonna hear no woman, something like that. No, I think he said maybe the better ones of you. You ain't gonna hear no one, and it's true. It's the shock of the hour. It's the shock of the hour is what gonna move people. Yeah. Some of us, I think we done move already. We didn't move nowhere. We, as I said, some of us, we just wrap up and strap up him. And yeah, we go and we burn the herb, and yes, and we read the yeah, man, and we do a little thing and we hear, and how much of us really serious about liberation? Man, we just talk, you know. How much really serious about liberation? Even if you go back to Africa, that don't mean you're serious about liberation. Yeah. So when the back is against the wall, this is a back against the wall scene here, family. This is a back against the wall situation here. From it reach down to the burning instead of beauty. Burning instead of beauty. And all the great men died by the sword. They're there, you know, but they're not there. They're there, look, they're around. They're there, look, they're there, they're there. They're driving here. Look, one going into the bank here. Look, one riding a bicycle there. All the men around it. But they're not there. They're there, but they're not there. They have died in the war. They can be resurrected. They can be resurrected in that same flesh that they're. But for now, they're not there. They died in the war since they're about 6 or 7 years old, and they're still killing them daily. It's still a process that's continual. It's still a process that's continual. It's called, make sure you're bringing your homework tomorrow. It's still a process that's continual. You think church is bad? Check school. So when they reach of age, they don't die in the war. I got to drill the point home. Anybody that's serious about it, you will be listening. They died in the war, family. So now when the woman realized that she's not supposed to have no yellow hair, because instead of well-placed hair, there is baldness. And even if it's not that specifically, whatever is out of touch with nature, because there's enough things going on in this world that just way off. I don't even want to go there. Way off. And the daughters of Zion are very much involved in way off. But anything that is out of touch with the truth and with the Christ balance, believe me, you're gonna hit a hard wall. It only makes sense. You don't need a God watching over you and say, oh, you're gonna sin now. No, no. Something must come up against you that you have to make the choice to shake up and come into reality. And I always believe, Just like we were saying, I believe women have a different spirit than a man. And I believe the Christhood is the man. But I believe the woman herself, the spirit of the woman, is always seeking for that Christ man. I naturally believe so. Even if she not aware of it, it's natural, because nothing about the woman, enough woman not aware of it. Because the same Christ man, King Emmanuel is who come and teach the woman how to be a woman in a man. Real. Prince Emmanuel, Iman, is the individual who teach the Bobo Shanti woman the fullness of the womanhood, of that royalty, of the Queen Omega principle, of Empress Menen, of Rastafari, from a man. So I'm just saying that obviously a woman would naturally know of herself more than another. But in this time here, we're dealing with a scripture here showing you that the woman herself has gone so far off that she has to actually be shocked back into her mental, proper, sane state of mind, because she has gone so far off to the point where she's been identified as a prostitute. And I only use that one little example, but it can go on and on. It can go on and on. Man, I can go on forever, man. Yes, in Africa, we have, we are the creators of the artwork of even what people may call makeup. But makeup is different than fake up. I don't see you as a black woman should be putting red, something to red your lips and red your nails. Oh, you can't tell me what to do. I'm not telling nobody what to do. Who said I'm telling you what to do? You mad? You think I could, me? I'm a big man, eh? I ain't telling nobody, nobody can tell me what to do. Why would I tell anybody what to do? But what I'm telling you is, it is the symbol, the same way you put ketchup on hot dogs and hamburger. What the ketchup symbolizes is blood. It's a culture that you have adopted, it's blood. Even if it's natural ketchup with natural tomatoes, okay, I know that other stuff is pure rotten stuff. But anyway, even if it's natural, even if you make your own ketchup, I mean, that's nice. I mean, hey, listen, good stuff. But I'm just showing you the origin of the idea is that you put back the blood. You done rare, ready, and medium rare, put back some blood on it. That's the idea. You know how the culture is. A lot of symbolism is the idea. Now I'm showing you that the same thing with the red lips and the red claws. Although a lot of, today is a different day. So the nail design world is all kind of things. Not just different colors, but design, sometimes some nice designs too. I saw a sister with some tiger claw, the nails were in the tiger, the red and the yellow and black. Okay, I like to see that. Wow, that's real nice, eh? Yes, but anyway, but the point, but the point, where you look nice. I ain't gonna, what I'm talking about. See, we balance, saying the fake, you really, it look nice. I've seen some nice nail designs, whether they fake or real. I saw one a time, real glittery, with like a little boat on, like on the seashore and a coconut tree and the beach, right on the fingernail. I said, wow, that is something else. So obviously that's a talent. You know what I mean? That's a high vibes for you to go and do them kind of artistry on somebody's nails. It's a talent. Or some of them they buy it and they stick it on doing or whatever the case is. But anyway, the point is though, that's how you reach people, so people understand. Can you just tell people one thing? People painting the nails for years, even if they want to stop, or even if they think they want to be conscious. A lot of things they're not aware of. Red nails is symbolic of, watch the lion or the wolf. When is it the lion and the wolf eating up the meat? And the lion and the wolf in that, when it done, his mouth red. The claws red. Remember, this is coming from our European colonializers. Remember, our woman well, she tried it to look like the colonializers' woman, you know, and that's just the truth. That's why she straightened her hair so that she could look like her. Why else would you do that? What that's madness, eh? That's crazy. That's like you're losing your mind to just be doing that. You know what I mean? Just trust me. It may not look so today, but just imagine before a black woman straightened her hair. Enough respect to what's her name, CJ Magic Madam CJ Walker. But I mean the straightening of the hair. I mean, you're killing the hair. You understand? Yeah, that's just the reality of it. So all of this is the science of the woman. You know? This is very important. So bringing it up to speed, bringing it up to time, bringing it up to date now. She reached to a point, even as an independent woman, where she's in a world that something ain't right. And even all that she had as being the way of the woman, something ain't right there. Because as I said, all of this is from a culture that's not ours. A culture that would really eat, as Marcus Garvey say, they're dead. That's where it comes from. They eat the flesh of their own dead, red lips and red fingers, and so that's really that's what it is, family. But we just adapt it. I ain't saying you're gonna go to hell because you do it. I'm just showing you that you're masqueraded in the culture of someone else, and that's where the mind is. Yellow hair, that's where the mind is. You know, for real, blonde hair. Most women blonde their hair. That's where the mind is. All right, good. But the time will come when the woman, because the woman naturally seeking for Christ. That's why the woman loved Jesus. Enough woman in the church. Because the woman seeking for Christ. The woman actually want Christ. But she don't understand that Christ is in every man. She believe Christ is Jesus somewhere else, you know. But her nature, if she gets the right teachings, she will understand. And even if she don't get the teaching, she's still looking for the Christ in the man. Even if she don't get the teaching, she's still, maybe unconsciously, she's still looking for the Christ inside of the man. Again, even if she don't get the teachings. So that is what's happening. And she fall in her own gates. You see where she is? She's in her gates. So that means she is an independent woman. She is an independent woman. She have her own. This is very important. I know we've been speaking a while, but as I said, this is an important subject. If you want it properly, it's just up to you. They have movies longer than this, and I know the ones sit and watch them. She is an independent woman. She have her own house, several houses. She's into real estate. Pardon me. Yeah. Rolls Royce. No man can tell her what to do. Yeah. And the best, what women wear. I don't know. I mean, Gucci and only drink Don Perignon and Moet and what I mean, Gulfstream jets and $1 million yachts and yeah, $1 million vacation and spend hundreds like tens and yeah, just moving like that. Have her own empire. But the time will come when she understands that now, man. Especially when her back is against the wall. And I see a time, that's reality. This time we're living in is a time that pushing people back against the wall. That's why I brought up that whole vaccine campaign where so many trick or treats in front of you. You think it's Halloween to come and get an injection. But anyway, this little episode we do here today may very well be prophetic. So she's mourning in the dust, putting dust on her head. mourning and crying and yeah, because all the men have died in war. Now that's the 26th verse of chapter 3. Chapter 4 says, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautified, or be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy, even everyone that is written among the living in Jerusalem. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. All right, let me stop there. Now, so this is the scripture of the day. And you obviously see we took a long time to get here. I'm very thankful for your patience with this specific episode here. Now, and in that day, now which day? The day that we just spoke of, the day where the woman was, the same day where, our culture, where the Lord is reminiscing on the death of our culture and all the great ones are gone. And the woman depends on the great ones. I know some may disagree, but that's the state of the woman at the time because she disagreed too. That's why she was haughty and her neck was forward and all of that because she didn't need nobody. She got her own helipad. Who is you? Real thing. But she come to realize that salvation is more important than even what she owned. This is why she was searching. This is why she was looking for the Christ man, even if she was not aware of it. Read the chapter properly. I'm talking about Isaiah chapter 3. It clearly mentions several times that the male figure is absent. Read it. The male figure is gone. The prophet, the prudent man, the this, the that, the great orator, the artificial, man of war, they've all fallen. All the men are fallen. All the great men are gone. The captain of the 50, just keep repeating it and then he comes and jumps into it again. So that shows you again that example of the Christ man, the figure, the God figure, the Christ nature. Remember, we are Christ, It's not something we're trying to be. The Most High created Christs. We are all sons and daughters of the Most High. We're all gods. There was a time when we moved through in the kingdom of the gods. Now nobody is a god, and we have to wait on God to come and show us how to be gods again. Listen to me, God. And that's what King Emmanuel doing. He come and show us how to be gods and goddesses again. So now we're working on it. We have the basic stuff, but a lot of us still have plenty work to do to say that we can call ourselves gods and Christ, but it's already in us and we are the image of. Give thanks. So I'm saying that the woman now, since the whole culture is gone, the woman gone her own way. She's doing her own thing. And definitely the example used in the chapter was that of the garments, but it's more than the garments, you know. It is more than the garments. We're not here watching what women wear. Everybody know what women wear. Everybody know what women wear. And I even highlighted down to the professional woman. Yeah, man, you can see all the V in the crotches. Straight up, no matter how much the tiptoeing and can I help you, sir? Yeah, you see everything. It's a sick culture. Even that whole thing about seeing the panty line of the woman in the clothes, that was never, who, the designer, the designer. Yeah, but as I'm saying now, in chapter 3, the clothes aspect, I think, was just an example or a metaphor for deeper than the clothes. Just the mentality, the culture that the woman has taken up, the nature and everything. You know, you may say, well, what about the man? Man, they dead in war. They dead in war is following the man, following this whole culture to it. They dead in war. They there, but they dead in war. Yeah, no, give thanks. So she understand now. There's something wrong. When I don't know, you know, what it is that gonna push anybody back against the wall fully. But I can see we're living in a time that if you're not serious. So this is what's happening here. When it says 7 women shall take hold of one man. And listen to this saying, we will eat our own bread. That's very important. That's why the verse before this, when I started today, I said that Isaiah, you know, is a book where the chapters were added. So it's less like a script going through. So it's one story. So remember, I highlighted in the verse before this that she sat in her gates. She owns her gates. It's the independent woman. It is the independent woman. You know, press the remote and open the garage gate. It is the independent woman. She don't need nothing from you. This is why I said, you see, now one may see the discussion now. Once we're looking, I'm sure, for a discussion about polygamy or polygamy. But it is too, for real. I mean, 7 women to 1 man is a different dynamic. So that now exists, that has come into the picture. But before we go to that idea about it's 7 women and 1 man and carry it to some, no disrespect, lower level of conversation, let us check the science that's happening here. I want to clear my point before we go downstairs. Yeah, straight up, that's how I see them levels there. Yeah, if it's that the talk and polygamy, that's downstairs. It's good conversation, but believe me, from where I am here, that's downstairs conversation. Nothing wrong with downstairs, because where I am here, there's an upstairs too. There's higher and higher and lower. The levels. So she's saying, we will eat, or they are saying, we will eat our own bread. Within the all polygamy structures that I know, all that I know. I've never heard or come across any structure where the woman, of course, in the African sense, again, and somehow I'm sorry we didn't get into that deeper when the general was with us, but in the African structure, for sure, there's this industrial concept where, you know, the big family, like 7 wives there, you know, handle a lot of the industry. So whatever it is that we manufacture and whatever it is that we produce, whatever it is that we bring, you know, export, whatever services we have, the woman would handle a lot of that. And the man handle whatever the man handles, whether it's official doing, I mean, no man lazy, no way, no, but so the woman would really do it and under the, of course, the leadership of the man. So what we're seeing here, right, is very similar to that ancient African culture when polygamy, if you want to call it, is done in that ancient African culture, which is the industrial aspect, again, a part that we didn't get to in depth, which is very important. So, and that will also bring in the same way that they speak about, you know, the family structure and the children in the oneness of the family. And Dr. Ben, the great Dr. Ben, actually said it took him a long while before he figured out exactly who his mother was. I think he grew up in a family with several wives. His father had several wives, 4 or 5, and took him a while to figure out who exactly his mother was. So I'm saying that when you understand that the same way that that is on that level, when you put it on the industrial level, even if it's a small business level, then you could just imagine the women baking and kneading the dough and preparing. If it's, let's say we have a bakery and all of that is taking place, and they handle that and handle the economy and handle everything, just like how the brother was saying, and take charge of that. Because I see that is really the royalty aspect of that sort of relationship. And maybe one day I'll bring the brother back in and we talk about that aspect there specifically, and don't go on no other talking, but the industrial aspect of that family structure. Now I see something similar here in the Bible, you know, because let me say this again, because when you look at it on another level, most times you always hear that a man that has more than one wife must be able to support them. So now that gone to a different level now. It's not about the industrial working together under the leadership of the man, but the man now is supposed to support it. He have to make sure he can give wife number 1 this and wife number 2 that, and don't leave out wife number 3. And everybody's supposed to be treated the same, but he gonna love her more than he loves she, and this and that, and you know, all the little stuff downstairs. Really, that's kind of, that really come from downstairs. Okay, good. So but it's that is different. That is different. If I have to brand it, I think like that sounds like a harem, the Arabian style. That is much different than the African culture I just showed, of the industrial family working together, actually under not just the supervision, but the management of the woman. Actually telling the man, hey, all right, we're going to deal with the business. We handling the business part of this here, that there, and whatever business he handling, whatever, I mean, it's different family structure. And whatever it is they may be doing, and at the end of the day, our record keeping and everything, that is African. Scripture here now, they're saying we will eat our own bread. Now, although I compared that, or although I brought up the African situation, I still see this as different. Similar, but different. Because I believe that all this is a different situation. This is where the daughters of Zion, who have gone astray for so long, have realized, maybe by force, that they need Christ. Let's put it that way. But now, there's no man around. But look, chapter 3 clearly said, all the man of them dead, even those that are alive. And I believe this is why this mathematics now remember, this is, well, yes, this is in the Old Testament, number 1, wherein multiple wives is not a problem. Many ones will say, well, the New Testament, Christ came and said something else. Fair enough. But although this is in the Old Testament, this is talking about a time to come after the New Testament. In fact, this time, I don't even think this time come yet. You follow me good? It's in the Old Testament, yes, but it's talking about a time to come that hasn't come yet. No, man, I don't think we have not reached, we might be getting there, but we have not reached to this stage yet, where the daughters of Zion really catch themselves and figure out, Listen, there's no way out of this except righteousness of salvation. That's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. And definitely when they figure out that it's Prince Emmanuel Charles Edwards that have the key to the King of Kings, Negus Nagask, the Mawe Haile Selassie. And of course, they will understand that this ain't a replacement for Jesus Christ, but Christ living flesh. They will be looking for Christ because Christ is in everyone here, but they've died in war. So in that day, 7 women shall take hold of that one man. But who is the one man? It's Christ. So 7 women can take hold of King Emmanuel. Now King Emmanuel around, you know. Yeah. King Emmanuel is around. King Emmanuel is around. Now, I will be humbled with this. This is my opinion on this. You understand? As far as the one-man concept. But anyone that's biblical, I mean, you know, I know a lot of ones, you may be watching this with your wife and all kind of weird thing, and they may say, well, I don't want her to think I agree. This is nothing to be ashamed of it. I'm showing you what the Bible is saying, especially if you believe with the Bible. This is not, nobody can vex with you, because this is an obvious scripture that the 7 women shall take hold of one man, and the one man that they take hold of is the Christ figure, the man that they see the Christ figure in. I don't think it's 7 women around a 7 specific set of women to a specific man. No, man, it's different man, as we would say, and different set of women, and I don't think the number is exactly 7 either. It could differ, but the point is that according to this prophecy, we would reach to a state or a stage where women in general would come together, literally come together, saying, hey, we need salvation. You know, hear what they want from the man? His name. His name is people that in a desperate state here. They need his name to take away their reproach. Now listen, you may not be able to wrap your mind around this. And fellas, this ain't no regular thing like how you thinking. And yeah, the Bible says 7 women shall take one man to go try no foolishness. And this is holy stuff. Believe me, this is holy, holy, holy business here. This is a serious, this is World War III kind of business that someone's cannot stand in this kind of battlefield. I want to be clear. This ain't no Sesame Street talk that I give in here. This is real. You check it. And when they come, they're saying straight up that we will eat our own bread. Because they done it. Some of them done coming with their own industry. We'll eat our own bread, wear our own apparel. We have our own house. You check it. If you want, how much house you want? Man, I have condos. Take, it's yours. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what this is saying. And you playing around there. You don't see it say right here in verse 4. For the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and have purged the blood of Jerusalem. Salvation. I don't know how one's look at life, eh? And you don't have to be religious to have this comprehension here. But I mean, we are natural beings, we are spiritual beings, and we live in an environment, a real environment. Whether you think the world flat around, up there, sun spin around, but we are all here. We can vision. Look, I'm talking to you, you're listening, we are here. So there got to be a natural law that we live in. Nobody can deny that. You ain't got to be even believe in God. There has to be a natural law that just governs, and the things you do that go against that natural law. Yeah. That is what religion's supposed to be about. It's supposed to bring a communication with the orator of all things, which is a deep concept by itself again. Not necessarily narrowed down, but broadened out. Very deep stuff. But there's the truth, which is deep again, and that's broad too, absolute and relative. And there's right, and it's the same thing there too. So what I'm trying to show you is that from our point of view, well, not our, from my point of view, as myself, I see the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, got to speak for myself, the Black Christ, as the individual that has come with the order for man and woman to live by, that connects you to the universe, straight up, in simple words. You understand? That is it. And that obviously must be, if that is the truth, that got to be the salvation when everything starts to fall apart. It only makes sense, even if you can't figure out how that will be, but it got to be. And then that's this order here that King Emmanuel bring is not just churchical, it's statical and governmental and parliamental. So it's have many different facets to it. So, but for sure, I am saying again, in closing really, that when you observe this science here, that is what it is. It is woman seeking for the salvation of Christ. Now, again, that's my opinion of what the salvation of Christ is. You may think it's something else. It's all right. But if you have any faith in the scripture, the Bible, I think you can run, because some try to run from this, you know. This is a scripture talking about a time that hasn't even come yet. Is this something that the Lord Almighty will be displeased with? I'm just asking it. Is it something that the Lord will be displeased with when this time comes? You know, because I hope we don't go into this is another discussion about if it's right for a man to have more than one wife. This is an obvious discussion about a prophecy that is highlighted in Isaiah. I will repeat, that has not come as yet. Do you know in the Bobo Shanti principles that we read every morning, it actually says when a man takes hold of a woman, both of them become one flesh, and they claim they're not supposed to claim to know other flesh. That's what it says in the principles, and all Bobo Shanti should know that. And I just felt like saying that with an understanding. So just for the students' sake, the scholars' sake, because sometimes our mind needs to come out of a level. I don't even think that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that deep understanding. It shows the relationship of a woman with a man and what real love is about. That's what I'm talking about here. What a woman really seeking for. You understand? And I mean, that's the heights. When a woman see that, listen, there is Christ. That look, Christ right there. I going for Christ now. That's exactly what this is. And not going for Christ and in the Babylon way and looking when I said, making it clear to the Christ that listen, man, you have the salvation. I need you to teach me the way. You ain't gotta do nothing special. I have it all. Believe me, what you want. I have it. That's what it says here. That's how dread the time gonna be. But it takes something to happen, and to me, it done happening already. For this mentality to kick in. Yeah. The daughters of Zion shall have purged. No, the Lord shall have washed away, filth of the daughter of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem. You know, there's so much more about this topic I can say, but I will leave it at that. Holy Manuel Selassie, Jah Rastafari. Give thanks. And when I say so much more, no, I'm done, no worry, I'm done. When I say so much more, I mean, if you observe part 1 and part 2, I did a, well, it's not like this. This is totally different than the presentation I did about 2.5, 3 years ago. I think it's the same title, 7 Women Shall Take Hold of One Man. It was part 1 and part 2. But I went into some other things, So you could still try to find them on the YouTube channel. They should be there. I don't know why some people cannot find them. They should be there. And I definitely didn't break it down like how I broke it down tonight. This was just a different vibration, and it was almost like a chalice talk in some sense. All right. Hey, make sure that you enroll your youths or yourself, definitely in our international homeschool cosmic classes. All you have to do is contact me, and definitely I give you more information on exactly how you can do such. I'll send you a copy of this brochure here, and for sure you will definitely know what to do. That's it. Presizer27@gmail.com. And for sure, just reminding you again, I hope you will be with us. I don't know why you would be missing this one. And this is talking about the double hike, 3 exciting days. Greencastle Hill, the summer solstice experience, and of course, the cannabis tour and lecture. Remember, look for that special interview that I'm going to do. I'm looking forward to that one. That's tomorrow. I'll be doing the interview with Brother Paddy Simon. Yeah, listen, you're going to get a real boost out of this one here. And we'll be talking a few things. I'll make him, give you a little rundown on himself and some quick history, and then we take it from there. And of course, you will be a part of the international hike, double hike, and he'll be on the Sunday hike. He'll be giving us some good information on the area of Greencastle Hill as it relates to Antiguan history. He knows about that very well. So remember, tomorrow evening, Monday evening, just check it out right here on YouTube. I cannot say what time I'll be uploading it, but it will be there. As I said, just what I said, put on the notification button. That's very important. If you are a subscriber, if you haven't subscribed, well, of course, subscribe and put on the notification button. All right, family, give thanks for your patient listening. We always say that this Bobo Shanti, after your culture, we always say, give thanks for your patient listening. Because to be honest, you when a person pay attention, it's paying is a price. And it takes a lot to pay attention to whatever. It takes a lot to pay attention. So, you have to give thanks for a person's patient listening. But I know this was a subject area that, at least from my perspective, that needed a deeper level of culture. Can't just come and talk about it and this is what it means and run away. And as you notice, I repeated certain points over and over again to put it in, because it's an important subject. Man, the worst thing that can happen is that I did this program and the mic was off all the time. Okay, well, the mic was off. The mic was on. Yeah, life give and keep of life. Holy Manuel I, Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. Give thanks, family. Blessed love. It was a joy holding this meditation with you. Love. Blessed.